Hey, this is Jake and Sambo checking in with you guys. I haven't made a video in several days, um, but I wanted to give you an update on where we are, what we're doing. Uh, the ride in from Richmond to Williamsburg was crazy. Uh, Richmond was great, but once I got on the trail headed towards Williamsburg, um, I started having problems. All my batteries on all my devices were getting low because they weren't fully charged when I started out that day in the first place, because I'd camped in the woods next to that church, and then I stole some electricity from a Wawa gas station um, about halfway between there and Richmond, but I didn't get everything fully charged. Um, but I was killing time. It was like 2 hours and everything wasn't fully charged. So I just hit the road to Richmond anyway and thought, well, 75% is pretty good. Um, so then I got through Richmond okay. Everything was great. I got out of Richmond okay. Everything was good. The Capitol Trail is a beautiful trail out into the countryside, going towards Williamsburg. Nice pavement, nice little picnic areas all along the way, and bathrooms. Really nice trail. It's like 40, 50 miles between Richmond and Williamsburg, something like that. I think 40, over 40, I know for sure. Um, and so anyway, so I was heading down the trail. My batteries were getting low. I wasn't doing a lot of filming on my phone because I use my phone as my camera. And I was just trying to make the miles and trying to get to Williamsburg before dark. Well, crazy. I just passed this guy who he was on some kind of drugs. He was having hallucinations or something. He was tripping right out in the middle of the trail, just laying down in the asphalt trail, just laying there. He looked at me as sat up and looked at me as I rode by, but he didn't say anything. And you could just tell he was tripping on some kind of probably acid or mushrooms or who knows what. Um, I got past him about 50 yards, and all of a sudden my crank, the pedals attached to, fell off, just with no warning. Just it wobbled a little bit, and then it fell off. And I was just like, "What in the world?" I didn't even know it was loose, and so I was able to put it back on, but I didn't have the right tool for it. I didn't have the right Allen wrench. And luckily, this other biker who was coming back from Jamestown, he stopped to help me, and he had the right tool. And so we put it back on, and I thought I had it tight enough, but within, I don't know, maybe 10 more miles, it started coming off again. And so I got to this little convenience store. I was not quite in Williamsburg just yet. I still had to cross a river to get it officially into Williamsburg. A sheriff deputy was there. Um, he had some tools, but he didn't have the right size Allen wrench either. We went through his whole toolbox, and he didn't have it. And so we just did the best we could, got it back, tightened it down the best we could. I kept on going. I just told him, I said, I'll be okay. I'll just keep checking on it as I go. Um, and that's what I just did every mile or so. I'd stop and check it again. And I even got what's crazy is I even got to once I crossed over the river, and it was in the Williamsburg County. I think that's what it is. There was a park there, and they even had the bicycle tools. If you see in some of these parks, they have bicycle tools and bicycle pumps chained to the pavement. Well, they had the right size tool, but it wouldn't reach down. The leash on it was too short, and I couldn't get it down. It wouldn't reach my crank. So I was like, this is crazy. I've got the right size tool finally, but the leash is too short, and I can't even reach with it. So without drawing this out too long, I made it into the outskirts of Williamsburg, the town of Williamsburg. Um, but by then everything was running out. My batteries, my phone was running dead. My bike was running dead. My GPS and rear rear blinky light was running dead. So I didn't even have a hotel reservation. I hadn't made one yet because I didn't know if I was going to make it to Williamsburg or not. So I didn't want to make a reservation and pay for it and then not even make it there. So what I ended up doing was I sat out. I found a 7-Eleven that was open 24 hours, and they had an outlet, electrical outlet, on the side wall near their dumpster. And so I just sat on a milk crate against the wall, and I plugged my bike in and plugged all my electronics into that outlet, and I just sat there all night, charging everything. And so every now and then I'd go in the 7-Eleven and buy something, because every now and then the workers would come out and look at me like, "What are you doing?" They wouldn't say anything to me, but they would look at me like, "Are you homeless?" Or they're trying to figure out what I was doing. So every so often I'd go in there and buy something, and it'd give me a chance to stretch my legs too, and go in, enjoy the air conditioner for a minute. And so that's how we made it into Williamsburg. I made a hotel reservation while I was sitting there on that milk crate for the following night, and when the sun came up, everything was fully charged. So we got out of there and rode into Williamsburg. But you can't check into a hotel until like 3 in the afternoon, and it was like 7 a.m. So there was a Cracker Barrel, luckily, that had just opened. And so I went and killed a couple hours in Cracker Barrel. But still, it was only by then it was like 10. And I still had like 5 hours to kill. Well, so I found an abandoned Brewster's ice cream parlor that, they always have outdoor seating. And they had a nice shady patio with a nice, like a 3-foot retaining wall, or like a decorative brick wall around the patio, which was just perfect for me to lay down on my camping mat, my sleeping mat. And so Sambo and I took a nap for like 5 hours on that patio in the shade, right next door to the hotel that I booked a reservation at. And so it all worked out. And then we spent 2 nights in Williamsburg, because I rode like over 60 miles, 65 miles that day from Richmond to Williamsburg, and my legs were shot. And plus I wanted to sightsee. I hadn't been to Williamsburg since I was 13 years old, and so I was like, well, it'd be a shame to be here 40 years later and not take the opportunity to see if it all still looks the same, or so they allowed me you can ride a bike around the Colonial Williamsburg. So we took the bike. I took all the luggage off, all the camping gear, and stripped it down, and Sambo and I just rode around and took the pictures and videos that I posted. So in all, it was pretty nice. And then Monday I left out of there. I think it was Monday. No, Monday was the day I did sightseeing. Tuesday, I left out Tuesday morning and rode to Hampton, Virginia, to go to Zuma Worldwide. I had put in an order for some of their supplements and vitamins and drink mixes that you add to water. They're sugar-free drink mixes. You add them to water to make it taste better, make it not taste like water. And so then we were done with Hampton, Virginia, and so then I rented a U-Haul truck and went back to Richmond and picked up on the trail in Richmond, where I had turned to go east to Williamsburg. I picked up the trail in downtown Richmond and just headed north. But the last 2 days, I'm now in Woodridge, Virginia, and I'm getting ready to leave out of here. I'm doing some laundry this morning, and as soon as the laundry's done, we're gonna head to Alexandria, Virginia, just south of Washington, D.C. But anyway, the last 2 days has just been rain, 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 from Richmond to here. There's a nor'easter, I guess they said, a late season nor'easter that is just stuck, just circling up over like New Jersey or somewhere in there, Pennsylvania, and we're getting the remnants of it. So 2 days straight, just rained on. So I had to do some laundry and everything, get a hotel room because I was just sick of it. So yeah, so we're in Woodridge, Virginia. Then we'll ride to Alexandria tonight. I've got a hotel there. And then from Alexandria, we'll ride right down the Mall of Washington, D.C., past the Capitol. And we'll continue on until I get, I think it's called Odenton or something, Odenton, north of Washington, D.C. I think it's across the state line in Maryland. There's a KOA, so I'm going to camp at the KOA for Memorial Day weekend. That'll be like Saturday night. And so then the next major town is Annapolis, and then Baltimore, and then I guess maybe Philadelphia, and then through New Jersey to Manhattan. So we're making it. Luckily, it's not going to rain for the next couple of days. I think it's going to hold off for 2 or 3 days. So yeah, we're Sambo's doing what he does when we're not on the bike. He's taking a nap. So I hope you enjoyed that update. It's been a pretty crazy last 5 days, and but it's been fun. It's been an adventure, and it's exactly what I signed up for. Okay, well, we'll see you back out on the trail. Thanks for watching.